KALB. This is a First Alert forecast.
Well, just in from the National Weather Service, they have confirmed 3 tornado touchdowns here in central Louisiana from last night. The first one here I want to talk about, the one that touched down in Rapides Parish. This touchdown near Walding and Otis. This is near Ian Johnson Road and Louisiana 465. You'll see that tornado traveled a good distance and lifted just to the north of Cuts Road, where there were also some reports of damage. This is actually the area I was in a little earlier today and got some pictures from that area, including a drone video. If you want to see that, you can view that over on Facebook. The second tornado that we had touchdown was in Vernon Parish to the northeast of Fullerton. So this tornado touched down northeast of Apelt Road, crossed over Lookout Road, and kept traveling towards Louisiana Highway 463, where it crossed over and then eventually lifted. The third tornado was confirmed by the National Weather Service in Shreveport. They believe that that tornado started actually over the Toledo Bend itself, over the water. They're not sure what the exact start point of that was, but it did move on to land just offshore there in very rural portions of the Zwolle area, and it lifted well before it reached Louisiana Highway 191. Last night was an active night, and unfortunately we've got another active day ahead of us going into Saturday. That's why we've already declared a first alert weather day. We've got that level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk, so a little higher than what we were dealing with yesterday. And the timing goes from the morning hours through the early evening on Saturday. All severe hazards right now are on the table. Here's a more expanded look of that severe weather outlook. You'll notice it's not just us dealing with the higher threat for strong storms. That expands up to Monroe, Baton Rouge, Jackson, Mississippi, all the way back into portions of western Alabama. Now let's talk about the tornado threat. Tomorrow it's a little bit higher, but also a little bit more conditional. The ingredients are going to have to come together, but if they do, we could be talking about numerous tornadoes, and some of those maybe even strong. The greatest threat is going to be in this yellow area with those black hatched lines there that you see. What that hatching means is that we could see a strong tornado or two tomorrow, not just here in central Louisiana, but anywhere within this yellow area. So it's a threat that's very serious, and it's one we're going to be watching closely. The wind threat also is a little bit higher as we go throughout the day on Saturday. Hail threat a little bit lower, but it's not zero, and large hail certainly will be possible with some of these storms. So let me walk you through what to expect going into tomorrow morning. This is 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning, and you'll notice some isolated showers and storms starting to get going. We're going to have to watch these. They're not going to be dealing with a ton of energy at this point, but again, there is the chance they could tap into what little energy is there. By 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning, you'll notice more isolated showers and storms out across the region, but it's really late morning to early afternoon, especially that we'll start to get more energy into central Louisiana that these storms can tap into. These more isolated cells are able to take advantage of all of that energy and use it all up, and as a result, those storms have a higher chance of producing larger hail and tornadoes. And I do think if we see a strong tornado in Cenla tomorrow, it will likely be with one of these isolated cells out ahead of that main line. There's the main line, and here's a very messy cluster of those isolated storms here in central Louisiana by early afternoon, with more isolated cells continuing as we go through 3 to 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. About 6 to 7 o'clock tomorrow evening is when I expect that severe threat to finally wind down. And not only will we be severe threat free in the days to come, but we will also finally be dry going into the new year. Rainfall forecast here calling for anywhere from ½ an inch to maybe 2 inches of rain in some spots of central Louisiana. So something we're going to be watching. But real quick, here's a check of your First Alert 7-day forecast. Again, tomorrow's the day we're watching, and after that, things are a lot nicer, a little bit warm for your Sunday and Monday, but we're finally cooler heading into 2025.
You know, New Year's Eve on Tuesday, there's going to be fireworks going off all around, and I guess we're in good shape with all the rain.
Yes, in good shape for that. The fireworks should be great. In fact, I know I'm going to be catching balls New Year's Eve fireworks show, so I'm really excited for that.
All right. Well, thank you, Jake.